My name is Dan, and I'm 21. I've worked at a neighborhood coffee shop since my senior year in high school for about 4 years. This story is from a terrifying experience I had 3 months ago. At the time, I was working with a guy who I had known since high school. We weren't in the same class, but we knew each other. We weren't close friends, but we got along well enough. John was his name. He started working at the shop about a year after graduating, so I was more experienced when he came and knew many of the regulars. He would give off an attitude because of this, but nothing serious. One evening, John and I were closing up when his girlfriend came in. I was working behind the counter, and John was in the storage room office. I've known Nancy since high school as well. She came up to the counter, and we greeted each other. The counter area was clean, so I didn't have much to do. So the company was welcome. We were laughing at something from the past when she kinda reached out and flicked my arm in a flirty kinda way. I didn't react, not even thinking of it as flirty, just being silly. John came in a rage a second later. I didn't even suspect what could make him so angry. Then I realized that there was a closed-circuit camera in the office that watched the counter. John must have watched the security screen and jumped to the wrong conclusion. There was a very tense couple of minutes with nothing said, just a fuming stare from John. I wrapped up what I was doing and we closed the place. Whatever the problem between John and Nance was none of my business. John wasn't on the schedule the next night, so I was relieved. After closing, I locked the front door and exited through the rear door, which was customary at closing. When I turned around after locking the rear door, a man stood just a few yards away. He was dressed all in black with a black cap. His face was hidden with a frightening Halloween mask of a clown. Terror ran through my veins. He attacked me with lightning speed, landing a hard blow to my cheek that dropped me to the ground. He was on top of me in a second, and I defended myself as best I could from the blows. Whomever it was a deranged sicko. I knew I had to fight or get beaten to a pulp. I used all my strength and landed a few good punches to his gut. Somehow I turned the situation around and was now on top of him with my fist closed, striking hard. The mask was torn off as I punched, and I could see it was John. I broke away at this moment and ran. I was still in disbelief. I looked over my shoulder to ensure he wasn't following me. I ran to a gas station, and inside I called the police. The police sent a cruiser to the gas station, and I gave them my story. The police thought I had probably suffered a concussion and called paramedics to check me out. Blood was streaming down the side of my head, and they said I would need stitches. My mom took me to urgent care to get stitched up and bandaged. As for John, the police picked him up, walking down the road carrying the mask I described. He admitted to the offense and was charged with assault and battery. He never gave a reason, but I suspect it concerned Nancy. The judge gave him a few days in jail, and the coffee shop fired him. John was never seen again. I've been a head barista at a coffee shop in a small college town in Ohio for almost 3 years. It is a popular and busy shop due to its location close to campus. It is always hopping with students, professors, and locals, and during exam weeks, it's a madhouse with everyone trying to get that extra caffeine to muscle through. Many are regulars, and I recognize them by name. Some pick up a coffee and go. Some take a comfortable seat and stay a while. It wasn't my dream job, but it is what it is. I never attended college and still live with my mom. My income helps us both. My dad disappeared from our life when I was a baby. I was too little to even remember him. My mom has always struggled to care for me, so I help as much as possible now. Most clientele treated me well, and I took good care of them. There was one particular customer who began coming last fall. He was an older, heavy-set guy with a belly. He wore a suit, trying to look important, but it was cheap, so I don't think he was very successful at whatever door-to-door product he was selling. His whole demeanor was worn out and disheveled. I don't think he had ever been successful at anything in life. He quickly fell in as a regular. He ordered the same coffee but made a big fuss about it each time. It was just a black coffee, the easiest pour in the shop. But he always said black coffee.
Give me the largest size you have. I don't need any of that cream or sugar messing it up.
He had a severe caffeine addiction, which was about the most normal thing about him in a coffee shop. The weird thing was that he stared at me intensely when I poured the coffee. It was as if he didn't want me to spill a single drop, but wanted it at the brim. Many customers watch me make their coffee, but they've usually ordered something more complicated. Pouring a black coffee took zero effort. Yet, he scrutinized my pour each time. I'd say "here you go" and hand it to him, and he would always say "skillfully done, thank you." With his coffee, he would sit facing the counter, unfold a newspaper, and pretend to read. He just held it up and peeked at me over the top. It didn't take me long to see that the paper was weeks old, and it was always the same one. It was a bit odd, but more disturbing was that he was always watching me. He didn't seem to look at anyone else in the shop. He would be there the entire day drinking coffee. Every hour he would order another, never anything else. Now 2 or even 3 cups daily are common for many customers. Still, this guy had a serious caffeine problem. He would drink up to 8 cups during my shift. He did nothing to disturb the other patrons, so there was no reason to ask him to leave. One night I was closing shop and told him he had to go, and he said,
"Don't you think we're friends now?
"Why don't you come to my place and hang out?"
You make a great cup of coffee. We can stay up all night and talk."
I bristled and told him, "Just go home. I don't know you. Just leave me alone." After this, the following days became a little tenser. He didn't pretend to read the old newspaper he carried and just stared in my direction. But most concerning was he shifted his coffee order to espresso. In a single day, he drank 24 espressos. That just isn't human. Each time he'd ordered, he'd say, "Your name is Edward. That is what your name tag says."
What's your last name?
I'd say, "You can call me Ed. We don't use last names here in the coffee shop." By the end of my shift, he's blotto with caffeine and can barely speak coherently. He's begging for my last name.
Come on, tell me your last name.
I'm just curious. What does it matter?
Okay, if you go home, I'll tell you. My last name is Cassano. Well, now what do you know? My name is also Cassano.
With that, he crumpled to the floor, and his body shook in convulsions. Paramedics were called and said he had suffered a fatal heart attack. The extreme caffeine probably contributed to it, along with his weight. The police identified him as Edward Cassano. My heart stopped beating and the room spun, and I collapsed to the floor to be revived by a paramedic. My long-lost father, now dead, who abandoned my mother and me so long ago, had come to the coffee shop to reconnect with me. I was a student at the University of Miami a couple of years ago. I'd go to a coffee shop near campus several times weekly to get coffee. It wasn't because the coffee was cheap or delicious. It was because there was a barista I thought was cute. Her name was Maria. She was born in Miami, and her family was originally from Puerto Rico. She was a knockout and would turn heads in the coffee shop by every patron. She was gorgeous, and for me growing up in Ohio, she was an exotic beauty. I had a terrible crush on her, and the first time I spoke with her, I was intimidated by her smile. She was friendly, so I became bolder and said, "You're looking beautiful this morning," when I purchased my coffee. I know it's stupid, but I did. Then one morning she responded, "You're looking pretty good yourself this morning. Enjoy your coffee." And she gave me this big, grinning smile. I returned the following day after talking myself into asking her out on a date. I was so nervous she had a boyfriend, or that she would just say no thank you. As it turned out, my timing was immaculate. She had broken up with her boyfriend several weeks ago and said, yeah, it would be fun. She took me to a Puerto Rican restaurant she knew and liked, and taught me about Puerto Rican culture. The food was delicious. That is how Maria and my relationship started, and for a few beautiful weeks, it was a dream. One evening, I got to the coffee shop early to meet her for a night out on the town. She was cleaning up, so I sat down and looked at one of the college press newspapers that were still out from the day. I hear the door open abruptly, and this angry dude marches in. He looks over at Maria and says in a really disgusted voice,
"Is this the guy?"
He didn't wait for an answer and stepped straight up to where I was sitting. He wasn't particularly tall, but he had big arms from lifting weights and a bunch of tattoos all over. He literally growled at me. I nearly pissed myself. I was so taken off guard. Maria looks horrified and yells, "Angel, please don't." That's when I knew I was dead meat. Maria had mentioned her past boyfriend over dinner one night. All I knew is they broke up when he went to the county jail for beating up some college kid over something really stupid. She broke up with him, she told me, and told him never to come around her again. This may sound weird, but when you know you'll die or get badly beaten, this strange sense of calm overcomes all your fear. I calmly stood up, faced the muscular hothead, and said,
"Let's not do this. You don't want to go back to jail for this, do you?"
This just infuriated him further. He locked eyes with Maria. "Talking about me, huh?" and taking a swing at her. She backs up and he swings wide. I shouted to get his attention away from Maria. He turned back towards me and shouted, "You mother, think you can steal my girl?" And he swung his fist so hard it crushed into my skull. Stars in a flash, and I fell onto the coffee shop floor. I didn't feel anything. I just reached up and touched my head, and blood was streaming down over my eyes. I heard him curse at me, and then another impact. At that moment, Maria threw a hot liquid in his face. He let out a blood-curdling cry. Maria and I bolted out the door, ran down the street, and into a shop to call the police. Maria told me she had thrown a hot coffee mixture with lots of sugar, and the sugar turned into hot glue before it dissolved in the coffee. It stuck to his face and caused a horrific burn that probably went down to the bone when he tried to wipe it off. It is a mixture that can really cook skin. I don't wish anything bad on anyone, but that probably saved both of our lives that night.